Look at that big old tree, guys. There's my truck right over there. I know it's kind of dark, but I wanted to show you guys this. It's got some history to it. A lot of history. It's the message tree. People used to nail their messages to that they needed, I guess, carried through the mail or whatever. Calera, Oklahoma. Pretty cool. I still got an hour before I can take off driving, so I'm gonna get back in the truck and see you guys here in a minute. See here, let's get some light in here. Good morning. Oh, well, I got up a little too early this morning, I guess. Let's see, I got up at like 3 o'clock. I think it's about 4 right now. Already made me some coffee, and I made a little breakfast. I had some oatmeal this morning. That's nice, quick, easy breakfast. Just got to heat up water for that. Let me get some things situated back here. Well, I guess I'll just take you guys back here. Come sit back here. How about that? There you go. Try to get you level. So I still have roughly a half hour. I've been off duty for 9 hours and 27 minutes right now, so kind of sucks having to sit here at a rest area, but it is what it is. You hear that cooler? Guys, that's my little Coleman cooler right here. That thing, I never realized how loud that thing was. That's pretty loud. Let me go ahead and plug my phone in. Man. Yeah, so I can't take off until, I guess, almost 5 o'clock. It's 4:10 in the morning right now. I got up about 3. I just woke up and decided to get up, make coffee, make breakfast, and then go in and use the bathroom and everything, and come out here. Now it's 4:10 in the morning, so about an hour later I still got another, well, I got 31 minutes to go before I can go. I'm already ready to go. E-logs. I'm telling you what, guys. Gotta sit here, wait it out. I don't know of much of anything that's more boring than that. Than, you know, having to sit and wait and wait and wait and wait. Seems like forever. But yeah. So here in about 30 minutes or so, I will be able to go on duty, do my, I don't know what you call it, I guess, during trip inspection, you know, like just kind of do my walk around, check everything out, make sure I don't have any flat tires or anything, that sort of thing, make sure my seal's still good, all that kind of stuff. One of these days, I think I'm going to go ahead and I don't know. I probably need to brush up on my pre-trip stuff a little bit. Make sure I'm up to date on it. But I'm pretty sure when I do a full pre-trip, I do a very thorough job. And you know, I just got to make sure that I'm completely refreshed on that. That I'm not gonna put like some kind of false information or anything out there, because I want it to be kind of like a training video to, you know, help those new drivers coming into the industry. Right now, you know, we need a lot of truck drivers. We need a lot. That's all there is to it. That's the only way we're going to save trucking, is to get good truck drivers out here and do proper training. And if a person can watch YouTube videos and do that pre-training, you know, like really start learning everything they can about it without having to pay a ton of money to learn everything, then when they go through the trucking school and stuff, which cost a bunch of money, I mean, you're talking probably thousands of dollars. I didn't have to pay for trucking school. I just went to a company. Company paid for my schooling, which, I mean, in turn, technically, I paid for my schooling because I had to drive for that company for a year. And I tell you what, that actually caused me, I think, to quit driving for that company as soon as the year was up. It was just like, I'm out. Yeah, the problem is when you're a new truck driver, you just don't know that you don't know, right? You don't know that, let's say if you was to go to work for a pretty large carrier and you've got all kinds of freight, they treat you well, you have nice equipment, if there's anything wrong with it, they fix it, you're making good money, you just don't know that you're making good money. And then you see a little offer of maybe some more money, or someone tells you that it's nicer over at this company over here, and so you quit and you go to this other company, and then you find out that the grass wasn't greener over on the other side. You will find, I mean, that happens every time. The grass is never greener on the other side, because trucking is trucking. It all pays. I mean, like hauling certain freight pays different, but in general, let's say if you're just hauling dry freight, a van trailer, it's pretty cheap freight. Okay, it pays what it pays. Sometimes it pays a little more, sometimes it pays a little less. And then companies, there's trade-offs for everything. And one thing I really like about CFI is they are fair. They're not a perfect company. They do have some flaws. But the main thing that really causes me to end up coming back to CFI is because they're fair to the driver. They are just fair, okay? They are professional with you. They treat you professionally. They treat you fairly. And they try not to, treat you like you're just a driver number or something, or just an asset or something out there. They are very personable on the phone and everything. CFI is actually, it seems like it's a bunch of companies that I've actually drove for. Some of the best companies I've drove for are, two of those. I drove for D&D Sexton and CFI, and now both of those companies are merged, I guess owned by the same company, and so they actually share a lot of values. I mean, I've worked for a lot of different trucking companies. I've done pretty much everything out there. I haven't hauled windmill blades, but I've done oversize for about 8 or 9 years of my life. That's actually a huge part of my trucking experience, is doing the flatbed, lowboy, RGN, oversized loads, hauling excavators, bulldozers, that stuff around for a demolition company. And, you know, I learned a lot there. I learned how to work on trucks. I learned how to, I mean, I kind of had an idea anyway because I'm pretty mechanically inclined, but, you know, I learned a lot in the trucking industry like that. And that's one place where I suggest every truck driver starts is, you know, if you, let's say you're 18 years old and you go take some classes on diesel mechanics and stuff, so that you at least have a basic knowledge of how things work and how to fix some things or whatever. I mean, you can crash course it. You can go check out YouTube videos and stuff on that stuff. That's the great thing about YouTube, is you can learn so much. But I think one point I want to get across in this video is, you know, this is for the new drivers out there coming into the industry, because, and what really kind of makes me think about this is, as I was coming in this last time into CFI, going through orientation and everything, there was a lot of new hires. Like, I'm a rehire, right? I've worked for CFI 4 times now. This is the 4th time at CFI. The first 2 times was as a company driver. The 3rd time was as an owner operator, and now I'm back as a company driver. And now that I've been there, done that with the owner operator stuff, I had my own truck, and I hauled crude oil out there in the oil field. That is very, very rough. And this job right here, driving for CFI, driving this practically brand new truck, it's very, very nice equipment. I have no idea how much it costs for a truck like this. Maybe $140,000. It's not cheap, right? Very expensive truck. Very nice equipment. Every trailer I hook onto is in pretty decent shape. You know, and that's from a perspective coming from a guy who has pulled junk, has pulled good equipment. You know, that equipment that you're out there just like, you're trying to slide your trailer tandems and you can't get the daggum pins to pull, and you're underneath of it getting filthy dirty, beating on it with a hammer and squirting Dawn dish soap on it, and, you know, try to slick it up to where it'll slide, and lowering your trailer landing gear and chalking your wheels to, you know, try to slide your tandems. I ain't had that problem with CFI stuff. I had some issue with Schneider stuff, and that was one thing that, you know, really kind of made me think, hey, you know, maybe Schneider's not the place for me. And that's where I started, right? I was a newbie driver, started out with Schneider National, and they were a great company. I made great money, and like I said before, there's trade-offs. With every company, there's trade-offs. You either have really great pay, and it trades off with something, right? You know, maybe the equipment isn't quite as new or quite as nice. You're going to have some headaches with that. Or maybe you don't have near as much support, you know, a support team out there. Whenever you call, you can't get a hold of nobody. I mean, right now with CFI, it's a little bit, right? They don't have as much manpower in the offices as they used to. Yet, we still manage to get it done, and obviously we're making money. That's one thing when you drive for a company. You need to do your very best. That needs to be your focus. Do your very best to make sure you're making that company money. And one way of doing that is shut your truck off. When you're parked, shut your truck off. That is something that is highly overlooked with a lot of new hires. I feel like that's overlooked anyway. I don't think people stress that enough. Me having been an owner-operator, I know how much that fuel cost in a truck. And, you know, with a gross revenue, let's just say one year I made $200,000, a little over, gross revenue, and $100,000 of that was actually fuel cost. So half of my revenue was fuel cost, and that was actually idling my truck most of the time, so I could be comfortable in the truck and everything. And so after that year, I realized, hey, I got to start strapping this thing off. If I could cut that fuel cost way down, you know, let's say $50,000, that's another $50,000 to my bottom line. $50,000 to the bottom line of a large company like CFI, it's a lot of money. That could translate to maybe, you know, I don't know, better coffee at the terminal, or you know, it could be the difference between you having brand spanking new tires on your truck and brand spanking new brakes. And I mean, CFI, they have really nice trucks. I mean, they don't have crap out there. It gets down to a certain point and they change it out. They don't let it get like dangerous. So that is a huge thing for me, is that I'm pulling good equipment around, and I try to make sure the company's making money. I know how tough it is for any company out there to make money. With a large company like this right here, let's say if they were making $8 a load, they could be making, I don't know, let's say if they did 1 million loads in a day, which they don't do, but if they did, that would be $8 million a day, if they just made a profit of $8 per load. So when you kind of start thinking about things like that, and you're like, well, if I could save my company, you know, 2 gallons of diesel today, because I don't idle my truck for 2 hours while I'm sitting here waiting for my clock to let me start driving, then, you know, that is 11-12 bucks that goes right back to their bottom line, because I'm not just sitting here burning it up. So, you know, for you new hires out there, just do things and think about things in a fashion of where you're like trying to save your company some money, and it will come back to you eventually. It could be in the form of, you know, they decide to build a new terminal or something. I mean, like CFI Joplin, where I'm out of, is a really nice terminal. It's a big terminal, lots of amenities and stuff there. We have like a weight room, exercise room and stuff, showers upstairs, showers downstairs, restrooms, blah blah blah, ATM, coffee, there's food and stuff in there, like the, you know, little coolers or whatever, that you open up the door and it's got a sandwich or whatever in there, and you go pay for it using your debit card or something. I haven't taken advantage of that, but there are people that use that, and that's kind of nice. You know, if you're kind of stuck there at the terminal and you don't want to go into town and grab something to eat or something, you just grab something out of the cooler and pay whatever. It's not probably super expensive or anything. But yeah, I mean, just saving money for the company like that, to where you have a new truck, you have a, you know, nice equipment. Like this truck right here is just phenomenal. I mean, it's super nice. You cannot ask for a nicer truck. You're simply not going to get a nicer truck anywhere in the industry with any trucking company. I mean, you may go work for some farmer or something and get to drive a 379 extended hood Peterbilt, but I'm here to tell you guys, there ain't nothing special about driving a 379. It looks cool, that's it. It just looks old school, it looks cool and everything. But I'm telling you, you know, I owned a 379 Pete, and it's just a truck, okay? It's just a truck. And this right here, having a sleeper on it, I mean, I can stand straight up out of my seat and my head don't even come near hitting the ceiling. My 379 Pete, I'd stand up and I had to have my neck bent down like that, or I mean, literally my shoulders were pretty much touching the ceiling in the Pete. And I'm just 5'11" and a half basically, or 6 foot tall, depends on how good a day I'm having. If I went to the chiropractor, I'm probably exactly 6 foot. If I haven't been to the chiropractor, I'm probably 5'11" and a half. But I'm telling you, a truck like this right here, I mean, I've got a cooler in here. I mean, yeah, they didn't furnish that, but Some companies will have a refrigerator over here underneath the closet space and stuff. There's I think it's a S-Bar. Yeah, and we've got a S-Bar diesel heater installed in here. I've got a power inverter. I don't know what size it is, maybe a 2,000 watt power inverter, probably big enough to run a really small, let's say 700 watt microwave. There's a spot in here where you can put a microwave in it. There's this table. There's like dresser drawers and stuff to put stuff in. I mean, there's all kinds of storage. There's a bunk. This right here is the top bunk, and I'm of course sitting on the lower bunk right now. The AC works good. I mean, if anything goes wrong with this truck, I can take it to them and say, hey, you guys need to fix this. And in the meantime, if I need to keep running, if I've got hours to run or whatever, they can, you know, say, hey, you want to drive a different truck? We'll throw you in a different truck. If there was something, you know, wrong with this truck that's going to take a period of time, you know, they might just say, hey, here, just switch all your stuff over to this other truck, start driving it, we'll get this one fixed up, and we'll just give it to a different driver. You can possibly cycle through a truck like that or something. But this one here's a 2021. It's got 90 some odd thousand miles on it. So not even 100,000 miles on this thing. And they will get rid of this truck somewhere but before 500,000. About 500,000 miles they'll be ready to get rid of this thing. So I will I'll be able to put a couple 100,000 miles on this truck, and I really like it. This automatic transmission in here, I mean, if you guys are worried about trying to shift a truck, well, I highly recommend that you learn how to do that. Go to a truck driving school that has that type of equipment where they'll teach you how to drive a standard transmission in a truck, how to shift and everything. It's very good to know. That way you can actually, you know, go pretty much work for anybody. Because if you don't learn and get your license with a truck that has a standard transmission in it, then you can't legally drive a semi-truck that has a standard transmission. So that's a little issue there. Yeah, I've always drove trucks with standards. I've drove some auto shifts and stuff before. This one here's like the first kind of like actual automatic. It's not really an actual automatic. I can tell that there's like something in there that's basically a manual transmission, and there's something in there that's releasing that clutch for me whenever I let off of the brake pedal. It's really interesting how it works. I don't really know how it works, but I can feel it in the truck as it starts to, you know, engage and move. But yeah, I mean, really nice equipment, automatic transmission, everything. All of their trucks, from what I understand, are automatics. They do not have like any of those 13 speeds or anything anymore. So, you know, if you're female or something, and, you know, maybe you're a little bit older and you're like, yeah, I could probably still go drive a truck, you know. And maybe if you want to go see the country, you might think about getting your CDL and getting out there and driving a truck and delivering some freight. And it is what you make of it. I want to point that out too. You could make this, it's all about your perspective, right? Or your perception. When you get out there in a truck, and if you look at it from the perspective of, this is a paid vacation. I get paid to travel around the country and go up and down the roads. Yes, it is a job, and you have to, you know, you have to deliver that freight, and you have to try to deliver it on time all the time. You got to do your very best to do that. And there's a lot to it. There's a lot to learn. I'm not going to discount that. But, you know, my first year of driving a truck, I was team with my brother, so I got to see the entire country in the first year. For a solo driver, that could take you 2 years, 3 years or something, to go through all the states and stuff over the road. I did it within probably 6 months, actually. Went all across everywhere, every state, been in it except for Vermont. I can't say that I've been in Vermont. I think that's the only state I don't recall ever being in Vermont. So I don't know. One day I might hop in the bus and take a trip to Vermont and see what's there. But yeah, I just wanted to chat about a few things. I might actually jot some things down at some point and try to do a video that's more kind of, you know, more focused on some things with trucking and everything. Never really thought about doing a lot of videos and stuff on trucking, but that's what I'm doing right now. And if I'm going to be doing YouTube, I need to probably just be doing YouTube on things that I'm doing. I will still be doing some videos on the bus build and everything as I go through trying to finish that out and everything. But yeah, a lot of my time is spent right here in this truck and driving around and everything. So I think I'm gonna probably start doing some videos like on pre-trips, log booking, things like that probably. It might take me a little bit to try to put something together to do that, and I'll probably just, you know, kind of do like a playlist or something to help some of the new guys that are coming into the industry, because I didn't have that resource when I came into trucking. We didn't even have cell phones when I came into trucking. We didn't have GPS. These tablets right here, guys, it's phenomenal. I mean, and look at this case. This is like a machined case. It's like a lightweight, I don't even know what kind of material that is. It's some kind of composite, but they've machined some kind of composite to go around this tablet to protect it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, CFI's got some bugs to work out with their system. I think maybe it might just be a learning thing for me. I don't know. Maybe I hit a wrong button, but I had some trouble with this last one. But sometimes you just got to sit back and breathe and just say, hey, it is what it is. It's all good. Work through it. Figure it out. There's people out there, you know, here at CFI that can help. Sometimes it takes a little bit to, you know, get a hold of the right person to get the right answers or whatever on what's going on with your tablet or whatever it might be. But the one thing I truly love is they treat you well, okay, and they're fair. That is the main thing. They're not a kiss ass or anything like that. They're fair. I can say that for certain over all the years and everything, that you know, if I was called in the office for some stupid thing I'd done or whatever, they were fair about it. So that is a huge thing in my book for this company. And if anybody wants to come on here at CFI, please email me at davidmehood@gmail.com, so, you know, I can exchange name information, whatever, with you, and hopefully I can get you on here at CFI, and maybe I can get a little incentive for bringing someone on. So anyways, we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.